Hi everyone, I am Nisha, the Chief Psychologist from Ask Psy. I just thought I'll have a quick conversation with you all with regard to something that we have been facing for a while now. We do have a lot of people come into our clinic stating that they are under depression, and most of the time it is not true. So I just thought I will bring in some clarity between being sad and being under depression. So what happens is that when you are sad, it is about a particular thing or a situation, like you have just had a breakup, or you have not been able to clear an examination, or someone very close to you has betrayed you. So this is a very natural emotion that all of us, you and me, will face at certain phase of life, and it slowly starts to evade away, or it erases when we forget it, or it gets replaced or with time. But when it comes to depression, it is a serious mental illness. You cannot assume to be under depression while you're being sad. So I just thought I will try to bring in the clarity. So now what exactly is depression? So depression, what happens is that when you are sad, it prolongs for more than 2 weeks. Okay, so when you're generally sad, there is an off and on kind of an emotion that goes on. Sometimes you're happy, sometimes you're sad, but most of the time you might be sad. But when you're under depression, what happens is that the sadness is prolonged for more than 2 weeks. And then what happens after that is that you do not have a proper sleeping pattern. You either sleep more or you sleep less. You eat more or you eat less. So there is a variation in the general lifestyle of yours, and then there is this deep sense of guilt, and you feel you have done a grave mistake and you do not want to live anymore. You have this suicidal tendencies. You just do not find anything interesting. Even those things which you used to enjoy the most or the most pleasurable moments will turn into something that is uninteresting. You start feeling that that you are really tired, you cannot do anything, you do not have the energy to do it. So these are the few things which is going to be prolonged for more than 2 weeks, and you are totally dejected. You do not find the purpose in life. So these are the certain things which are a sign of caution. So if you are having any of these symptoms for more than 2 weeks, what you need to do is you need to visit the clinicians, whoever is close to you. This depression is generally accompanied by headaches and body aches, which may not be really related to the health condition, but it is related to your mental condition. Okay, so this is something about depression. Now, what could be the possible reasons of you being affected by this mental illness? One of them is trauma, childhood trauma, teenage trauma. It can be abuse, which is physical or mental, or it could also be because of substance abuse, or like you have been under the influence of alcohol, drugs, or you have been under serious illness which has got a lot of pain, or it might be even the impact of the medication that you're taking. If you're taking medication for cholesterol or for hormonal issues, this could also affect your mood. So these are the things which could contribute to depression. These are not the only reasons, but this could be a combination of it. And the earlier symptoms that I mentioned, it could vary from person to person. But depression can come to anyone, to any gender, any age group, any economic status. It doesn't matter. It can come to any one of us. But one thing that we need to keep in mind is to differentiate between sadness and depression. It's a common phrase everywhere that people say, I am under depression from 1 week, I am under depression from 2 days, I am under depression from 5 days. This is not depression actually, it is a sadness. It's a mood that is there temporarily, which would change with time and would change with situation. So if you are confused whether you are under depression or sadness, what you need to do?
இந்த வாழ்க்கையில் நம்ம எல்லாரும் எதிர்பார்த்து காத்திருக்கிற ஒரே விஷயம், எதிர்பார்க்காம ஏதாவது ஒன்று நடந்துடாதான் தான். எதிர்பார்த்து காத்திருக்கிற ஒரு விஷயத்தை விட எதிர்பார்க்காம நடக்கிற ஒரு விஷயத்துக்கு தான் சுவாரஸ்யம் அதிகம். அதோட விளைவுகளும் அதிகம். புரியல.
நீ என்னதான் ஸ்கெட்ச் போட்டாலும் தூக்குறது நாங்க தான்.
ஒரு கெட்டவனுக்குள்ள ஒரு நல்லவன் இருக்கிறதுல ஆச்சரியமே இல்லை. ஆனா அதே கெட்டவனுக்குள்ள இருக்கிறவன் அதை விட கெட்டவனா?
What you need to do is you need to start engaging with people, start watching some funny videos, start talking to children, spend time with pets if you have any, because pets actually bring in the mood back in you. And even if it's talking to children, playing a sport or picking up your hobby that you have left long back doesn't bring any change in your mood or your mindset, then you really have to go and meet a clinician. Now, when you meet a clinician, what happens there? See, there would be a series of tests conducted, as in it would be mostly conversational to understand what exactly is the root cause of this happening to you. So it might be a lot of questions about when did it start, how are you feeling, the exact feeling that you're going through, from what time have you been going through. Once they understand that, they would chart a therapy system for you, which would include counseling, and they would also prescribing you with certain drugs which is required, which is like antidepressants. Depending on the severity of the issue, this can be tackled, this can be faced. See, one of the major reasons that we Indians have to pay most importance to this kind of mental illness is because of the confusion behind it. Because when a person is really depressed, people at home might confuse it for sadness, which can be removed or which would pass on. One of the reasons why we as Indians should pay importance to depression as a mental illness is because when you are really under depression, people at home would confuse it for sadness as a phase that would pass on. And sometimes when you are just sad, they might think you're under depression. So there is a chance of missing out on a serious clinical issue, serious mental health issue. So this kind of awareness is really required, and we need to differentiate between it. To avoid sadness as well as depression, we can follow a very healthy lifestyle, as in trying to get up early, charting your day's program, seeing that you are not lonely, you engage in social activities, being part of sports club, maybe a meditation club, maybe just a hobby club, or a friend with whom you hang around and talk. So this is a brief about depression and sadness. So if any one of you all are feeling that you are in between this and you're not able to identify what exactly is going wrong, you can always contact a clinician who would be readily available in all of your cities to help you out. So if in case you want to write to us, you can write to us, and we will try to help you out on whatever possible ways available. I also want to tell all parents across, whoever is watching this, if at all you are noticing these kind of changes in your children, please do not sideline it, and please do not think it is something very silly, something that would pass on. Because let me just tell you that in India, 15% of the population face depression, and out of which more than 2 lakh people commit suicide. Because one of the aspects of this mental illness is about self-harm, thinking about death, being suicidal. These are also the part of this mental illness. So we need to be extra cautious in looking at your children, seeing what are the changes that is happening in their behavior. Are they eating properly? Are they talking to you? Engage more time with your children. As a parent, you need to do that. Probably as a spouse or as a partner, you also need to spend time and start talking to the other person. It's all about making time for each other, listening to each other, trying to deviate from whatever is causing them this pain and harm, bring them to a more pleasant condition. I would always suggest spending time with children and pet as one of the best things to come out of it. So today's topic was about depression and sadness and a misunderstanding between both of them. I will be having a separate session in detail about depression, as in the kinds of depressions that are there and what are the normal process and procedures involved in treating depression. So I just wanted to have a quick conversation with all of y'all and help y'all differentiate between sadness and depression. If you have liked this video, please do share so that a lot more people will benefit out of it. And if you want to see more such videos related to mental health, please do subscribe to this channel. You can always write to us as usual. We have been receiving a lot of queries. I will be addressing them one by one in the coming videos. I hope you have liked this session and hope you have a great day. Thank you.